Hi my friends, Anna Alchemist of the Arts here. Welcome to my channel. This is a patron chosen reading. The topic is how we can move past this situation, thinking about a close relationship. So this could be a lover, a spouse, or a friend, anybody really. I think for most people it will be focused on romance, though it doesn't have to be. The thought here is to find the most beneficial advice and guidance to help you move through this situation, to help you to make empowered choices. And to do that, we're going to first take a little look at the current situation, your energy, their energy, and then see what solutions come forwards. As a reminder, this is a collective reading, so please only take the messages that resonate, not everything that might be relevant for yourself. It could be a message for somebody else. You might also be drawn to more than one pile, and there could be different relationships on your mind or different connections. So really tune into the specific person or relationship that you would like to focus on first, and then see which pile that you are most drawn to. Secondly, as this is a collective reading, there will be a lot of messages that come through. And if you'd like something more personalized, I do offer personal readings. All of those are available on my website and my Etsy store. And my links for those are below. They're the only two places that I offer purchases for readings. So please do not be caught out by scammers or impersonators of me or anyone else. With that in mind, take as long as you need, pause the video if you need to, really tune into that collective energy around this relationship, and we'll see where we go. And I will see you in your readings. Hi there, pile number one. If you were drawn to this pile today, then this is your reading. You were called to the green calcite. I realise I didn't explain the crystals or show them before the pile selection. Not everybody uses them to choose, but if you were, green calcite is very, very good at opening the heart chakra, allowing for a flow of loving energy between you. So perhaps there's an energy of things having felt closed off for a while. As always, please take the messages that resonate for you and leave what doesn't. And personal readings are available via my information below and only there. So please be mindful of scammers and impersonators. Let's get into your reading. So the overall energy we have, numeracy in the past. Your hard work is paying off. Vulcan inventiveness. Now I really like this energy and it goes really well with the green calcite, sorry. It feels like this relationship is something that could have quite a long history with the past coming up. There could have been situations in the past that you have been working through, and this could be your own past. It will be different for everybody. For some of you, this is your own past that perhaps has caused issues within this relationship or issues within self that have made it felt difficult to connect. And this could be with anybody, but with this person in particular. So again, this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This could be somebody that you've got a long-standing relationship with that you found there have been difficulties over the past and you've actively been trying to work through these. What I'm seeing here with Vulcan and inventiveness coming through is that there is a new way through this situation. Finding new ways to connect, and connect feels like the word, especially as we have the green calcite here. So in the immediate sense, having done that work on you, perhaps you've been able to see the situation differently. Perhaps you can see different aspects of the situation, which is going to make it easier to connect. Or perhaps there are things from the past that need to be discussed in order to move forwards, but it will be different for everybody. Now I'm going to start off with some of these cards today. This is my Viking Oracle deck. And there's a mixture of runes and deities in these, as well as some other sacred symbology in places. Let's see what comes through for you. About the current situation. What do we need to know? It was that one that flipped. I'm going to try and make sure it was... I leave that one. All the cards, of course. I'm getting the overall sense that the current energy, the present energy, the sort of here and now, where things might be, or in the sort of recent past, this is, as a reader, I'm reading the energy that's coming through from the collective field. So for whoever needs to read this, whoever needs to hear this, sorry, that's what I'm reading and tuning into. It could be in the recent past that there is, for some of you, really, I'm being told really, really strongly, there was some sort of, perhaps a holiday, some sort of trip that got cancelled. And this caused a lot of dissatisfaction. Perhaps there was, I'm just getting this really strong message that there was this something to do with work that caused you to not be able to go on some kind of trip. You missed some kind of trip, and this caused a lot of frustration, a lot of conflict, potentially even a breakup or a separation. And it's showing me here that at the moment I can see with Ivars that there could have been an ending or definitely a separation. Again, another card that can pertain to travel. But with Vegvisir coming out in the reverse, it's almost saying that perhaps not knowing how to move forwards. Money is connected to the moon on the bottom of the deck. There could definitely be at this time things that have been held in the darkness with this energy of the moon. Perhaps for some of you, something came to light. Something was unearthed, something came up, and these could be something from the far past or some sort of resentment even. Could have been some kind of secret for some of you. But what's really interesting here is that we've got this energy that feels like confusion and frustration and potentially conflict with Briakan in the reverse and Vunjo not quite in the upright. There is this feeling of it's almost stagnancy. Something wasn't growing, something wasn't moving forwards. So perhaps for some of you, you reached a point where you almost had to come away. There was so much conflict and friction, you almost had to come away from one another. And this has sort of almost prevented this ability to connect. But it's not made you happy. I feel like this separation, it was hoping that the separation, this time apart, perhaps no communication, no contact, perhaps everybody was hoping that through this time there would have been this growth. And for some of you, you could have been doing your work and you have seen great changes for yourself, but you're almost sitting, not witnessing that change in somebody else. Which is interesting because obviously we cannot be responsible for nor demand of anyone changes. They have to do it for themselves willingly because they want to. Interestingly, because we have all of this energy of confusion, of loss, I'm going to get some more cards of this, and potentially a breakup. It feels very much like a pulling away from one another. Even perhaps maybe somebody moved away and relocated or just had to move out of a home. But there is definitely a withdrawal of energy or communication in order to create distance. It could have been energetic distance if you still live with this person, but there is this sense of withdrawal. And what I love here is that we've got these cards of perhaps feeling trapped, perhaps feeling lost, perhaps not feeling like you know how to move forwards. The pathway may not feel clear. It could be quite stormy right now. Perhaps every attempt that's been made results in some kind of conflict or miscommunication. With the moon reverse, I would definitely say there is potential for miscommunication or for things coming to light for some of you, or for some of you things, just trying to speak about things and them just not coming out the right way. And or the attempts at communication not resolving the conflict. What I really love though is we have the Sunstone and Canas here. Now the Sunstone is this crystal that I have that sits on my Viking Oracle deck. It was believed that the Vikings could hold this up to find the location of the sun when they were trying to navigate at sea, and even when it was cloudy, this clear calcite Iceland spar would you'd be able to spot the sun, even when it was cloudy, if you couldn't see it with the naked eye. So it was a means of navigation. And this is finding a way, especially with Kanaz. Kanaz is the torch that lights the path ahead. This can be your inner spiritual journey, but can be a literal journey, finding that forward pathway, finding a way through. So it feels like there is a way here. I don't want you to think that this is a completely hopeless situation, because these two coming out so strongly and on their own really feels like there is a way forward. There is a way to make movement, to proceed. It's almost finding that guiding light. And for some of you, it could be unlocking that heart chakra again and being open to the flow of love, especially if there was some sort of hurt here, or if this hurt relates to the past and you've just not been able to open to this person, full stop. I'm going to try and get a little bit more on this current or recent past, just to give me a little bit more. And I may, apologies, just try and adjust the camera slightly so you've got a slightly better angle. I hope that's a better angle. I hope I've not made it worse. Okay, what else does Power want to know about the present situation? Okay. I've got the Four of Wands and the Four of Swords, and then that's crossed by the Five of Swords. Wow. For somebody, for some of you, this could relate to marriage. It could relate to hopes of marriage, dreams of marriage, even with these two fours coming out together. The Four of Swords can speak of rest, of dreams, of time spent sort of in that other world, in the dream space. So there could have been daydreaming of marriage, or hopes of marriage, hoping the situation would lead to marriage, and then some sort of uncertainty and feeling betrayed. Now, you could be feeling betrayed by yourself, that the situation didn't go the way that you hoped or intended. Or for others of you, you could already be married to this person, and for some reason there is this sense of not knowing exactly what is going on with this person, is what I'm going to say. It almost feels like there could be one person that really is trying to work at this relationship, at this situation, and another person that just seems to be completely zoned out, tuned out, and feeling this sense of betrayal and loss. Feeling like you haven't been successful in some way. There is most definitely a way through this situation. That's one of the symbolisms of this card. There is a way through this. It's finding that way, and there could be just a lot of thinking again, a lot of time spent in the mental space without moving forwards necessarily, without taking action or having those conversations. And that could be because of the way they've been received in the past. So I can see at the moment there is willingness here for one person. Both people could be, struggling with depression. I'm getting that quite strongly with this Four of Swords. It's that kind of withdrawn energy. So somebody could be having a really tough time with their own stuff in their own ways, and they might not have shared that with you. Just the extent of how they're feeling, that won't be for everybody again. For others of you, you may know this. And I feel like that's more if this is to do with somebody, maybe if this isn't a romantic relationship, or if you've been together for a very long time, it could be that one person is truly quite down about life at the moment. So that could be just recognizing that could be something that helps. This person might need a different approach with this Vulcan inventiveness here. And it's not that they're intentionally trying to hurt you, but then themselves at the moment don't have anything to offer you because they don't have the resource within themselves, because of how they're feeling themselves. Okay. So I'm going to clear these cards now. And what I'm going to do is we're going to get your energy, their energy. And again, it's important to note that those energy rolls could be reversed. So take it how it feels right when I draw the cards. and then we'll get the advice for how to move forwards. Just clear these out of the way. I just like to shuffle them before I put them back, and then I shuffle them before I draw them as well. Okay. So use the dreams of Gaia for your energy and their energy. Split the deck as well. Okay, so for your energy, please. Okay. I'm going to take both of them because they're both flipped. And for their energy, please. Okay, they got slightly more cards, but that's okay. Okay, I like this. I really like that we have the Eight of Water in the middle as connecting energy. Sorry, I didn't say I was going to do that, but that's really nice because it does say that, it does show that there's love here. There is connection here. True connection here. We've got the dolphins. You know, there is this potential for a beautiful energy exchange between you. It's about returning the flow and returning to that point of connection. For your energy, we have healing in the reverse. We have the Nine of Air, which would be the Nine of Swords, and then the Sage. I really feel like at the moment there could be something from the past, whether you identify with this energy or we'll see both, of course. You might identify more with the other energy, and then this may sound more like the other person that you're thinking about. But it feels like this person doesn't feel, it feels like there's something they're trying to heal through. They could feel quite wounded still. This could be something to do with you and your relationship, or it could be something to do with the past, because we have Nemesis coming up. And there is this sense of trying to find this wisdom and this way through, trying to find that light. You know, we have light at her fingertips, third eye illuminated, and then we have this light on the sage's staff. There is this strong emphasis on trying to find the right way through this, trying to find the inner wisdom, perhaps trying to find the meaning to what's happened. Now, this won't be for all of you, but sometimes we overthink things and try and, you know, maybe we try and, what's coming through is it's like, oh, this is my karma for something. Maybe you feel like because of something that you did in the past, you don't deserve happiness, or you deserve to be punished in some way. And it's that kind of over searching for meaning. I don't feel like there is this need for punishment, but this Nine of Swords, this is recognizing what perhaps causes you fear, worry, and anxiety, and then recognizing how that can be a great key to unlocking this wisdom, to unlocking a new layer of your own healing, and realizing how you can move forwards. So it feels at the moment like you're very focused on healing, on growth, on trying to unlock these mysteries and these patterns. So you could be quite spiritual, you could be quite immersed in your own work, and it's like it's just trying to find this way through and trying to find the meaning of it all. That's really the strong message coming through. But I am getting, you know, don't over search for meaning. You know, like you were being punished, because for some of you that's just coming through, and I don't feel like you're being punished here. For others of you, you could just be really trying to, if you're aware that the person that you care about perhaps is dealing with something, maybe you're trying to find the wisdom to help them heal. Maybe you're trying to push them to heal or to follow certain healing methods, whether that's traditional, psychological, emotional, spiritual, you know, holistic, whatever way. It feels very much like you can't do this for this person, and sometimes pushing can be a bit too much. So sometimes we have to step away, and we can initiate conversations, but respectfully we have to allow a person to pursue their own journey, their own personal healing journey, on their own path, and we can't take control of that for them. Okay, let's get the other person's energy. So we have the Two of Air in the reverse. Oh, what am I doing? We've got the Two of Water in the reverse. We've got the Three of... I think this is the Three of Air. Apologies, I'm having a moment. The Seven of Air in the reverse. The King of Water and the Maiden. Okay. So this is really interesting. With this Two of Air in the reverse, I'm almost getting that you see things very differently. And I think what this is saying is you think this person sees things a certain way when actually they don't. With this King of Water and the Maiden, this feels like a real longing for a return to this open-hearted energy, to this sense of connection, to finding this way. And this person may in their own ways feel like they're just at the beginnings of trying to work themselves out. You know, we've got the Three of Air here. They're trying to begin to understand. They're beginning the pursuit of wisdom. You may be far more advanced or just have more experience. Some of you could be older. So this could be a parent-child dynamic. And it could be that you're doubting for some reason that this person ever listened to anything that you said, but they have. But it's just that they're trying to find their own way. They're trying to find a way to assimilate this knowledge, and they're not fully there yet. They do see it, but they're not fully there yet. But there is this longing here to return to a more peaceful energy and a feeling of sadness at what feels like this loss of connection. If this is romantic, some of them may feel like they've really lost a soulmate or somebody that was really and truly special to their heart. And this could have caused them a lot of sorrow. It may be something that they haven't shown, but it feels like something that they really wish to. And there is this longing to return to a more gentle, what's the word? Almost a naive, but naive isn't the word. It's the freedom, innocent. It's the innocent, playful, joyful energy of living. You know, it's this deep desire to do that. They might have a good handle on their emotions. They might not reveal those very much, but it feels like they're going to. But definitely there could be an age dynamic in here, or experientially you could have more experience. And they're very much trying to work this out, and they're trying to work it out their own way. And in some ways, they need to work this out for themselves so that they can feel empowered through this process, so that they can feel that sense of worth within themselves, having been able to heal or shift their perspective or transform. I've really never noticed in this card before the angel wings. These black angel wings. It's like this person is trying to find their way. They don't realize perhaps their full power or divinity or uniqueness or the gifts or how special they are yet. But they're on their way. They don't know it all yet. And I think they know they don't know it all. But there could be an element of pride here. It does feel like a slightly younger energy, whether that's younger spiritually or younger physically. But they are seeking that wisdom. They are seeking that guidance. But it does feel like something that they have to want to do for themselves, and a process that they need to go through for themselves in order to feel that sense of, yeah, I understand myself. This is about them learning to understand themselves. You know, this person has the key around their neck. This is their sacred key. This is about them unlocking their inner wisdom. And they will get to this more mature knowing and understanding and being able to express this. But for right now, it feels like they are... It feels like there could be a sense of confusion, perhaps not seeing things in the black and white, perhaps not knowing exactly what it is to do, but it does feel like they're doing that, and they are looking for this reconciliation. So let's get some guidance on how to move forwards for you. I'm being drawn to the Spacious Tarot, so let's get the Spacious Tarot for you. How can Pile 1 best move through this situation? What advice can we give them to move through this situation? Okay, I'm going to have to pick those up. Bear with me. Sorry, Pile 1. We'll give those a shuffle and get some more. Okay, the initial message here with the Ten of Pentacles and the Explorer of Swords. This feels very much like wherever you are, whatever the situation is, whoever this person is, there are other things in your own life that you need to focus on. There are other things that you might be able to do to initiate. I think we've gathered that this person is going through their own process of self-understanding, and parts of that they really have to do for themselves. And you kind of can watch from the sidelines, but there's also other things that you need to pursue. Things you can pursue for yourself to perhaps take your sole focus off this situation. I think there's creative ways to move forwards, and the love and the support that you were offering does help this person. However, you are being reminded that the Ten of Pentacles is about everything. And this, whether it's a romantic relationship, whatever it is, there are so many components to fulfillment, to the sense of total fulfillment or life fulfillment. It's not, it's prudent to focus on all of those, all of these different pentacles, all of these different aspects to life and to living and to love that you share with others as well, romantically and non-romantically. So there definitely could be some other ways to invest your energy right now. With this Explorer of Swords coming out, that's interesting because it can speak of rushing in and also like rushing into battle or being impulsive or rushing to take action. But I'm also getting this sort of rushed communication. And I'm actually getting, I want to clarify this Explorer of Swords, because I want to make sure that I give you the right message about what I'm feeling. Seven of Wands and the Two of Pentacles, yeah. I would be very mindful of how you communicate with this person, especially if they've been suffering with a low mood or they've just really been going through it. You might be able to see the root cause of the problem with a blinding clarity, but it might be theirs to discover. And even when we might be able to see things for somebody, we have to be balanced in our approach. You know, with the Seven of Wands, I'm getting this call away of conflict, because it's come out with the Two of Pentacles, this sense of almost slowing down, making sure communication is balanced, making sure things are fair. You know, we can't carry people, we can't do the work for them, but we don't have to abandon them to leave them to do that solely by themselves. And I feel like this green calcite is talking about focusing on that energy of love, on the flow of love between you, keeping that in balance. You know, instead of, sometimes one of the most positive things we can do for somebody as they embark upon their own work or their own journey is just to see and visualize them living happily, living in fulfillment, living joyfully, returned to health or restored to their vitality. You know, sometimes we have to see people in that way and be in that energy of love. And it's not to overlook the present situation and try and deny its existence, but at the same time, we can really, you know, where energy goes, energy flows where attention goes. So if we're constantly thinking about the problem, oh gosh, how are they going to work this out? How are they going to do this? What are they going to do? We kind of hold people there in our minds. So bringing positive focus energetically to the situation could be really, really helpful. So as this person just has enough room to spread their wings and to find their way. Let's get some more for you. The phrase "fools rush in where angels fear to tread" has come through. So even sometimes, there are things that we don't want to happen. When our spirit guides, our teams or whatever, they know this has to happen, and things unfold and we go through things, but it's the process of going through them and our healing from them that really are a vital part of our path. It might be the ways in which we help others in the future. We just don't know. And it's that sense of sometimes we can rush in and try and save people, but that their true healing is in their journey for themselves. I'm not saying we should abandon people, because everybody's situation is different, and we do need to check in on people and make sure they're okay, but it's just about how much of that journey you try and do for them rather than alongside them. I hope that makes sense. We have the Chariot, which is really positive. This is moving towards victory, and the High Priestess and the Guardian of Wands. There is a way through this, a positive way through this. There is success through this. And again, with the High Priestess, the moon is inside this conch shell. There is so much potential here for you yourself, or it could be for this person. There could be this new passion to pursue, or to reconnect with a sense of passion. It could be a passion project, something that they really care about, something that you really care about. And shifting the focus onto that. That there could be, this person could have been going through a really difficult time, and they're going to have this discovery. Perhaps you can say in your prayers, your intentions, your manifestations, I visualize and I pray that this person finds their way through this situation in the most beneficial, gentle way possible for their greatest good. Something like that, in order to help them positively shift and move forwards, but allowing them to do it for themselves. It's just sending them good energy rather than, if we're worrying about somebody all the time, it can be an energy of concern that we're sending them. And that in itself, on an energetic level, can cause a rift between people. So definitely focusing on the good that this person can achieve. And that's really, if they've been perhaps without work, or if this is a younger person in your life, seeing them finding their way, seeing them pursuing their passion, finding their passion, moving towards it and their goals. For others of you, this could be reconnecting passionately. So take it as it resonates. If you are looking for a way, this is a romantic situation, you are currently connected to this person, married to this person, whichever way, but in an active relationship with them, reconnecting with the shared passion and reconnecting with your own inner feminine energy, the goddess within, regardless of gender, reconnecting with that goddess energy within yourself or within this other person could really, really help with this reconnection process. Let's just get one more of these then. The Eight of Cups. Okay, this won't be for all of you. For some of you, there could be a need to walk away for a time. There could be a need for them to walk away from something, or it could be leaving something in the past with Nemesis here. There could be something that needs to be left in the past in order to move forwards. It'll be different for all of you. Another phrase coming through is, if you love something, set it free. If it comes back to you, then it was meant to be. And if not, then it wasn't. I know I made that sound really cold, and I didn't mean it to, but sometimes you do need to allow somebody to walk their path for a while, and just allow for whatever needs to play out in their life to play out. Because again, we can't be in total control of their lives or their life experience. I want to get one of these as a healing message to help you. exploration, about boldness, unknown, limitless. I really feel like this pertains to you. You cannot change anyone else's energy, their life, their actions. You focus on you, focus on the way you're perceiving them, you're perceiving the situation, but also this comes back on how to help you move through this situation for yourself. You know, that there could be other things that you're really called to focus on right now. And these could be things to really just focusing on yourself, uplifting yourself, doing the things that make you happy. Not to get any kind of reaction out of this person, but just for your own self-fulfillment, for your own self-experience. And, you know, if this is a younger person, this could be a very powerful example for them. If this is a romantic partner, you know, it's different, but we cannot. What do I want to say here? You should be able to live your life happily and freely. And if somebody can't be happy for you while they're doing that, that's really up to them. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't live your life happily and freely. You should be able to do that. Let's get one of these as well. But I really feel like there is this sense of it being a positive experience. You know, pursuing your dreams, remembering this bigger picture of all the things that you want to work towards, and making sure you're the best self that you can be within any relationship, friendship, our, you know, parent-child relationships in both ways, whether we are the parent or the child. It's focusing on ourselves in that way. We can only heal ourselves. Guardian angel, you are not alone. Now, there's been lots of, you know, references to the angel wings and things like that that have come through. For some of you, you may associate with guardian angels. Others of you may have spirit guides or ancestors, which you connect to. Others of you may have not made those connections yet, but we all have a spirit team around us. Whether you choose to believe that or not is entirely okay. But what we can do is ask for assistance in healing a particular situation, in asking for their guidance and wisdom to come forwards and help us to find a way through. And that can be really, truly powerful. Sometimes, and it's quite a commonly held belief, that people can't step in and help. Being spirits, teams, guides, guardians, whoever, they can't step in and help unless we ask, unless we're open to it. So sometimes just saying, my guardian angels or my guides, my ancestors, if you have a specific ancestor that's passed over that you know that you would trust and love, ask them, what would you do? How can I work through this? What's the best thing for me to do? Or say even, and you'd be amazed at how those synchronicities and messages come through in dreams or in all other ways. And you'll just know, you will just get that deep inner knowing, and you will just know. And over the years, I found that really helpful. But pile number one, I'm going to leave this reading here for you. I hope it was beneficial. I hope there was interesting information in here that might assist you on your way. But as a reminder, it is a collective reading, and personal readings are available if you would like one. Feel free to get in touch with me. Do be mindful of scammers. But thank you for spending your time with me today. Just sending you all my love, and I'll speak to you really, really soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi there, pile number two. If you were drawn to the rose quartz today, then this is your reading. The message that came through with this crystal is, in order to experience the love that you seek, you have to step into the embodiment of it yourself. So that might be a message for somebody. If you were looking for love or the return of love, it's almost be the love you wish to experience. So that's an interesting message. As a reminder, this is a collective reading, so not all messages may apply to you. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And if you'd like a personal reading, all my information is below. Watch for scammers. Okay, we have Mahat, the truth, in reverse. Confidence is your key to success. And then we have Dionysus, ecstasy. Okay, interesting. So this is a completely different vibe from pile number one. You could be in a position where you are equally looking for love or looking for the return of love within a relationship. So for some of you, you could be in a relationship and it could feel like things have, I'm going to say it how it is. For some of you, things, if you're in a pre-existing relationship, marriage, whichever, this does feel romantic. So I would say if this isn't about a romantic relationship, or the only other possible thing I think it could cover is if you are friends with somebody but want to move that into a romantic relationship, or in fact that you are single, which is interesting. It's like there is a way of bringing passion back into this relationship, bringing love back into this relationship, or seeing the truth of self to either reconnect with somebody from the past. It doesn't feel like that far in the past. Could be for some of you. But it's something still very recent in your heart, still very much alive within your heart. If it's somebody from the long past, then it hasn't gone away. Or finding the truth in self in order to have a new beginning and attract somebody new, which might mean equally letting somebody go. Okay, there's a lot of different energies here. Dionysus is a very strong sexual energy. It's quite a hedonistic energy as well. So there could be a strong emphasis on that being wanted within a relationship. You could feel it lacking. Or it's just that pleasure, that enjoyment of being in a relationship. And typically when you have been in a relationship for a long time, that's something that can feel like it fades and the weight of responsibility takes over. Confidence is your key to success. And with Mahat, with truth in the reverse, it almost feels like there is this truth inside of you that is perhaps locked up. Now, for some of you, I'm really getting that there could be some sort of religious conditioning surrounding some sort of sexual beliefs or identity that you have been closed off from or repressed aside of yourself. And again, I guess this could do, for some of you, this could be towards orientation, sexual preference and orientation. So perhaps that's something that you have been repressing in some way. I didn't expect this reading to go this way, but this is what's coming through. There is this sense of finding this confidence within in order to express this side of yourself, in order to be able to be the most authentic version of yourself. And what I'm getting here is for many of you, you may have, to come away from just the sexual energy. It is our sexual energy, our sacral chakra energy is our creativity. It is the way in which we create magic within this world. It is deeply connected and rooted to our creative expression, our authentic expression of self, and also the way we create magic with other people through the sharing of creative and sexual energy. So it doesn't just have to be sexual, but just thinking along those lines, there is this true authentic self that kind of wants to be expressed here, that may have felt very, very trapped. But also, I'm not sure if you know, but Mahat in the ancient Egyptian mythology, in Kemetic belief, she was the feather, she was the goddess of sort of justice and of truth, but it was all came down to the feather of Mahat and how the heart after death was weighed against this feather, and only those of pure heart would be allowed to go to the afterlife, to the ancient Egyptian afterlife. So this is very much about the truth of our intentions, about what it is that we want. So a side message here for some of you, there could be a friend that you would like to take out of the friend zone and take it to the next level. In that case, it's about being true to self. For others of you, there could be a drive towards lust even that isn't centered in love, which there is nothing wrong in that, but it's about being honest with yourself, being about honest with your own needs, your own desires, your own wants, your non-negotiables in any relationship, and getting really, really clear on those. Because with that card coming out in reverse, it feels like the truth of your heart being what it is that you need to be able to be confident in, to be able to express to others. And I appreciate, especially when it comes to very personal things relating to sexuality or preferences, that might not be something that we're immediately open to discuss or want to share. But knowing it for yourself, knowing that truth for yourself and being honest with self is vitally important. And it feels like that's going to be pivotal in your decision-making process. Okay, let's get some of these to get current energy between you and this person. I don't want to say on your mind, but on your heart. The situation, this relationship on your heart, because this is very much about a relationship. But I'm going to say, for some of you, this could be a relationship that hasn't fully come to be yet. So take that if it resonates. What do we need to know for? Okay. I'm going to take all of those. We've got Hagalaz come out. Now, it's reversed there, but we don't do Hagalaz in the reverse. We've got Frithgerd in the reverse as well as Sol in the reverse. Yeah, I'm going to flip that. I don't read Hagalaz in the reverse. Hagalaz has no reversal. Interesting. You've got some very similar cards to pile number 1, but it's completely different energy. Bottom of the deck. And that's in the reverse, yeah. There is something that you have been holding yourself back here. You could be at the precipice of change, recognizing that things need to change. But also, interestingly, Hagalaz is the outer forces of nature, and something that I've been working on and sort of reviewing and getting something ready to share with my patrons is about our inner forces of nature, our inner Hagalaz, that desire for change, that need for change within our lives. At the moment, you might feel like you have no idea how to move forwards in order to grow. But it's almost like looking at, I'm just getting the sense of dissatisfaction, if I'm honest with you. It's like wanting more. And I feel like I feel like deep down there is so much more. But there is this feeling here of not quite being happy with your lot. No, I'm going to use these to clarify. What else does pile 1 need to know? Pile 2, sorry. Not pile 1. What else does pile 2 need to know here? What is their current feeling, situation, experience here? Yes. Okay. Nice. You've got 3 major arcana out in a row. Okay. Yeah. There could be something that didn't work out in the past that you've been holding on to. And this is sort of keeping you stuck. It's keeping you feeling that sense of almost like frustration. I mean, we've got Arcana here, Byakan, in the reverse. And then the 7 of Pentacles, which I saw a beautiful deep dive into the understanding of the tarot and about how this is a blighted crop, which I found absolutely fascinating, and that the farmer's disappointed. So there is something here that didn't quite grow or come to fruition, but for some reason you've not been able to move away from it. There is a sense there of holding on to something that didn't grow, that perhaps in some ways was, perhaps you felt like it wasn't built on a strong foundation, or it just didn't come to root, is the phrase that's coming through. It just didn't ground in, didn't come to root. And this could have left you in a pretty low place for a while. For some of you, for one of you, you could have relocated to be with somebody and actually found yourself stuck somewhere and a bit brokenhearted, or a lot brokenhearted. Let's get some more on that. Yeah. And there is this sense here of holding on. We've got 4 4s. Have I made that up? No, we've got 2 4s. I'm sorry. Why did I think we had another 4? There is this sense here of holding on. There is this sense here of holding on to something. And even just holding on to it for its own sake. Just for dear life. Like, I've got to hold on to this. But down here, we've got the High Priestess, the Chariot, and the Star. There is this deeper wish here, something that you are going to be able to move towards. There is something about the truth within your own heart here. And it feels like, you know, with this confidence card, the new moon in Leo, you could really suddenly find this realization, this wave of inspiration to be like, do you know what? This person really didn't treat me very well. Or, do you know what? They weren't all that. Or they really didn't invest in me the way that I wanted to, and I deserve better than that. This is about you seeing the truth of a situation in order to really get what it is that you want here, because it's like right there on the table. The High Priestess, the Chariot, and the Star. What it is that you want is available to you. But almost it feels like you're holding on to a situation that really wasn't very good for you. And that's... Let's just get 1 or 2 more. Ace of Swords, okay, Ace of Swords, and there you go. The Lovers and the Devil. And we had a whole load. I'm going to take them all because I want to get this for you. The Ace of Swords, the Lovers, the Devil, the Page of Swords, the Sun, the 4 of Wands, the 5 of Swords, and the 4 of Cups. And we've got 4 fours now. So I knew we would have 4 fours. This is so powerful. And you've got so much major arcana out here. You really, really have. You were going to have your epiphany moment about this situation with both somebody that you thought you were that was your lover, your destined person even, somebody that you felt very strongly magnetically attracted to, drawn to even. And this could have been a bit toxic. You could have ended up feeling bound to them, or it's that strong sense of attachment, you know, really strongly attached to them, even at the forgoing of your own self, with Manas in the reverse here. But there is a different love relationship coming through. And I think the truth is in recognizing the difference between what you've experienced and what it is that you want and deserve. And it might mean exploring something new with this Page of Swords. It might mean taking some time. I would definitely say don't be hanging around people's social media if that is something that you felt like you wanted to do. You know, like checking up on somebody, trying to see if they're, you know, I don't know. I would say there is something new coming for you. And it's almost like as soon as you make this decision, like, do you know what? Yeah, I didn't like that. That wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy that. I did deserve more than that. I do deserve more than that. I'm going to look at other options. I feel like this is going to shift for you. I think the focus for you, you could have been hoping for marriage and stepping into something with so much excitement, and then somebody just being really withdrawn and offering you, could have been breadcrumb, just offering you the bare minimum when you knew what it was that you wanted. And now this is the point at which you reclaim yourself. This is the point at which, you know, you, in the context of this reading on how you can work through this situation, this person could be absent in your life at the moment. You could be not talking. You could still feel very attracted to them. You could still be in love with them. But I think what you're being asked to do with the channel message that came through with this rose quartz is really think about the way in which you want to be loved, how you want somebody to speak to you, to treat you, how you want them to appear in your life, whether that's on a daily basis. And then think back to this person that you've been very strongly felt bound or attached to. And then ask, you know, was I accepting the bare minimum when I knew I deserved so much more? And was I deceiving myself? Was I trying to tell myself that this was okay when actually it isn't, or it wasn't? There's some big questions here and a lot of self-reflection, and it's not to beat yourself up, because what's coming is this brand new wave of confidence and a new lease on life that is going to be really enjoyable for you. Let's get some more cards. Okay, I'm going to clear these off and we're going to get the energy moving forwards, how it can assist you, and what it is that you can do. And we will get, I mean, for the previous, so for pile 1, I did your energy, their energy, and the connecting energy. And actually, I'm not feeling inclined to do that for you, because this feels very much like person from the past or situation. It could be multiple. It doesn't have to be one relationship. It could be every relationship you've ever been in. You know, feeling like you're always attracting a certain type of person, being treated a certain type of way. We don't change the people, we have to change ourselves, because they were all different people and they're just giving us what we will accept. So the emphasis is on us to, I've just put those away and I didn't want to put those away, sorry. It's because I'm talking. The emphasis, sorry Palti, the emphasis is on us saying no to being treated that way, not putting up with it. So instead of doing your energy, their energy, because quite frankly, this is all about you. Whether or not they come back, they may come back a fully changed and reformed person, okay, and treat you completely differently, the way you always wanted to be treated. But they're only going to do that if you have shifted yourself to recognize your worth and value within yourself, to say, actually, that's not enough for me, or that's not good enough for me, or I'm not going to tolerate that, when they're not treating you the way that you want to be treated. And that can come with a lot of fear of thinking, oh gosh, but then this person's going to go away and not come back. But that fear should not allow us to put up with bad treatment, especially in romantic partnerships. Okay, so what we're going to do, energy that can really help you move forwards, energy that we can let go of. Energy to help us move forwards, please. Okay, this is interesting, actually. I've got a really interesting, oh, it's all earth energy. Wow. I'm getting a really, really strong message from this. And this is about over-investing too soon. And actually, there is a flip side to this. If you bear with me, this is really specific. This won't be for everybody, but this is for some of you. And this is something I can identify with as well. We can over-invest too quickly, try to make things ground too quickly, before we really know who somebody is. Trying to over-invest here with this 3 of Pentacles of reverse, you know, like these two have come in the reverse. So this isn't about, this is finding the balance with this 2 of Earth, the 2 of Pentacles, between how much you're going to invest in the beginning, in those dating stages, but having a proper dating stage and saying, okay, well, we're dating. I'm going to allow this person to show me who they are. And that can take time. And we have to do that, but almost with this sense of reservation, not to shut ourselves off, not to close down the flow of our love, but to recognize where we might still hold unhealthy attachment patterns. And we might need to work on those, because they might trigger us to fall back into old patterns of behavior and accept things that we know we deserve more than. And that's so true for so many of us when we keep attracting similar types of people over and over. There's keys of wisdom in there for us. And it's not that you've done anything wrong. This is about how we evolve. It's how we learn. There is a sense of balance here. And I feel like this balance comes from really truly knowing what you want and who you are, and not over investing too quickly, but allowing yourself to go through like the dating experience, getting to know somebody, and letting them, the most important message, it's like letting them show you who they are. And you pick up that not by what they're telling you, because everyone's going to put on their best face, but how are they on the days when they're really stressed? You know, do they let you down all the time? You might have a wonderful time when you're together, but do they let you down? Do they prioritize you? Do they initiate? It's all these things. It could be very specific to you about what matters, but this is where that inner truth of the heart and being the love that you want to experience, being it for yourself, can be really, really hard, but really, really important. So the energy to be released. Okay, body and mind. Got the 8 of fire and the 5 of fire. Okay. Again, this won't be for everybody, but for some of you, there could be this tendency to see chaos as chemistry, or it's that feeling of, oh, they're losing interest. I have to do this. I have to do more. I have to be this this bright shining phoenix, and I just have to be better. I just have to change myself or do this, and then they'll notice me. It's like fighting for attention, or just that feeling of, you know, for some of you, it might be feeling like you have to change yourself or improve yourself or be different in any kind of way. You know, not recognizing that who you are is exactly enough in this moment. And any betrayal of that is a betrayal of self. And you don't need to do that in order to be attractive to the right people. You know, you just are attractive to the right people just by being yourself. And I know that can feel really difficult, but that is where we come to this truth of self and being able to love and accept self as we are. That is then reflected back to us. And I'm not saying that's easy. Another message here, though, is not mistaking that sense of anxiety that a person who's in and out of our lives can create as love that needs to be fought for, or arguments as passion. Now, that there can be a bit of that involved. Some people just are more naturally that way, but if that isn't something that you enjoy, that makes you feel safe, then, you know, it's like letting go of that. But also somebody that's not willing to put in the effort to you know, not like fight for your attention, but to put in the effort to be there, to step up and to organize things or to invest their time. If somebody's not willing to do that and to make fair effort, then again, it might be something that we need to let go of. But again, I feel like with the body and mind coming out and the energies that we need to release, this is being really, really honest with ourselves about the sensations that we feel within the body. When I'm with this person, do I feel safe in my body? Do I feel anxious? Do I feel nervous? Over time, when you date them, is that something that goes away? Do you feel more settled? Because again, we all have our own experiences and our own emotions. Is this something that I need to, am I trying to ignore red flags because I'm trying to look at somebody's potential rather than what they're actually showing me? You know, it's all of the, they would be perfect if they changed, Important questions. Important questions. And I'm getting with the Dionysus card here actually as well. Not only seeing the good in people, which is something that we can very much want to do, especially in the beginning stages of meeting somebody. And then we've got desire in the reverse. So interesting on the bottom of the deck. This again speaks about our truest desires. About our truest desires of who we are. Now, if this is, I know I've kind of gone on a tangent with this, but if you're in a long-standing relationship with somebody and you feel like this is your reading, then this could very much be about this over-investment of the self, but finding the balance of investing in yourself and in this relationship, and not only finding the rebirth of this relationship in those cycles after the chaos, after the conflict. There should be pleasure and desire within this relationship, in any relationship, without chaos. But again, that's for you to discern, but truly note how it feels in your body, and whether it makes you feel anxious or frustrated, and whether you're ignoring those feelings, whether you feel safe to discuss those feelings with your partner. But either way here, it feels like there are desires of self that haven't yet been expressed. And with coming out, it's about being truthful about what it is that you want and being confident within that, knowing that, just say that this is it for this person, this situation, or the next person that you meet, or the next relationship that you have. Say that you want it to be your last. Say you don't want to be in a situation where you're broken up with or ghosted or treated badly ever again. Then what are your non-negotiables? What are you not going to put up with? What really isn't going to wash in your world anymore? And ask yourself from that point, okay, well, what is it that I do want then? You've had all the bad, so what is it that you do want? And then recognizing that, and that applies whether you're in a relationship or not. You know, you can make those decisions about what is non-negotiable for you in terms of your inner peace, your satisfaction, what makes you feel good as a person. Because that is vitally important in all romantic connections, no matter how long you've been with somebody. I'm going to use the unicorns here for your messages and guidance for the path ahead. What does pile 2 need to know, please? Okay. Got the 7 of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the 3 of Pentacles. In order to build anything, you really need to know what you want. This is having that wisdom, that foresight. You can really build something long-standing, of deep worth and value. This card is also the 3 of Pentacles. It's the 3 of Earth. If you want to invest in something, you've got to be sure about it's worth your investment, because your time, your energy, your life force is precious. Okay? And I don't mean that to sound cold, but this pile is all about that inner truth and being the love that you want to experience. And if this is about a long-term relationship, you know, have you been blocked off from love? Have you been felt closed off from love? And, you know, some of the most powerful ways that we can reconnect with that sense of love is through something that we do truly love. And it's not to say you don't love your long-term partner, but conditioning and patterns can come up that can leave us in patterns and cycles that we almost forget that feeling of love. And there will be something, somebody, an animal, or an experience, a place that really can ground you back into that feeling of being loved, of loving. And when you can get back into that sensation, into that emotion, it kind of unlocks you once again. And then you can access all of this beautiful emotion and you feel it cascade. So this is very much like that, but it's also balanced with this knowledge about your own kind of, not rules, but boundaries. What boundaries do you have? What boundaries will you not allow to be crossed? What, again, it's just non-negotiables. I'm sorry, that word just keeps, that phrase just keeps coming through. I feel like if there is somebody from the past that you've been holding on to, it's almost like the release of that brings something new. There's like a new opportunity into your life. We've got the 10 of Cups. We've got, who have we got? The Emperor. I've got 5p on my table, I didn't even notice. The Emperor, the King of Pentacles, 5 of Swords in the reverse, and the 10 of Cups. Absolutely. It's almost like letting down these walls, this idea of, I always get treated this way, I only attract these types of people, the only ones I ever meet or I'm interested in. You know, if you feel like that, then go somewhere new, have a new adventure, put yourself in a different situation, But more importantly, focus on feeling stable and grounded in yourself. Recognize the people that are able to offer you what it is that you need, and recognize when you almost end up with that feeling like I'm settling or I'm cheating myself. And it's not to say that everybody is perfect. But again, I come back to the non-negotiables, because there are some things that we can overlook, that are things we can communicate about, that are things people are willing to work on, and there are some things that we literally cannot compromise on. So it's about knowing those with these kings and the emperor, that deep knowing, and allowing that to be your guide, to be this truth of your heart, because the truth of your heart creates these parameters of what we will accept truly in the most beautiful love relationship that we wish to experience, this 10 of Cups. And then everything that isn't that, or that really infringes upon our level of tolerance, that can diminish us feeling of self-love or our spirit or our confidence in any way, those things we really have to focus on and look at those, where we have to address them, not focus on them, we have to address them within. But there is like so much potential here. It's like you hold it all in your hands. Nothing's set in stone. But really getting to the bottom of what you want now and in the future, and what you won't accept any longer. This real deep truth in your heart, whether this is the person you're with, a person you want to attract, or a person from the past. Looking at the patterns of the past, and then realizing your needs, your wants, your desires, and having that clarity in your mind, your non-negotiables, and allowing people to show you who they really are when you're getting to know them, both the good and the bad, but then weighing that against your own knowledge of self, your own heart is going to bring you this beautiful relationship. So don't lose sight of that. Let's get one of these. Oh, okay. I'm going to take those three because they flew out first. We've got the root portal. That is the same as pile 1 as well. Exploration and dreamscape. Absolutely. Dream work, subconscious, imagination. The root portal, the root chakra, vitality, stability, survival, fearful. The root chakra is where we can hold so many of our patterns around fear, around attachment, around loss or guilt in relationships. So that could be a really important one to look at and focus on. But again, exploring almost in a daydream-like way how your ideal relationship would look, how you'd spend your time, what you would do together, how they would treat you, regardless of whether you're with the person you want to be with or not. How would this look? How would it feel? What would you do? Allow yourself to daydream, and then ask yourself, why am I telling myself I can't have this? Because often we have those stories we tell ourselves, or the limiting beliefs. There we go. See from a higher perspective. Let me get one more. Trust in high forces. Retreat and recharge. Okay, so if there is a situation from the fairly recent past or something you're still recovering from, definitely give yourself time to process that. Allow yourself time to process that experience, and really be honest with how you're feeling and what you've been through or what you've experienced. Trust that there is new and different coming. Trust that there is a bigger plan here. Trust that all of your experiences have led you this way on this path for a reason, and that something beautiful can happen. You can still be surprised. You can still meet the love of your life. You can still have so much magic, beauty, and everything you wish for unfold in your life. It's about knowing what that is within us first, and then knowing when to put in those boundaries when we need to. Wow. Pile number 2, I'm going to leave this here for you. This wasn't quite what I was expecting from this reading, but I really and truly hope whoever needed to hear this, or whoever felt guided to listen to this, it felt right for you. But thank you for being here. I am truly, truly grateful for you spending your time with me. As always, personal readings are available if you feel called, but just sending you all my love and gratitude for sharing your time, and I will see you again in another reading. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi there, pile number 3. If you were drawn to this pile, then this is your reading. You were drawn to the Peach Moonstone today. And I love the energy of this. It just reminds me of summer goddess vibes. I don't know why, but it is just that sense of fulfillment of the good things in life, being at peace and calm. Wow. As a reminder, this is a collective reading. If you'd like a personal reading, all of my information is below. But let's have a look at your relationship and what's going on and what we can do to move forwards. We've got Hecate, the in-between. Have faith in your dreams, and Anubis, protection. Okay. So instant messages here. Hecate, the in-between, she between the veils. She's the goddess of witchcraft, of magic in that respect. And yeah, very much between the veils. So you might be seeing things in a very black and white sense. And I feel like with Anubis coming out here, for some of you, this could relate to a family member that has transitioned over. And this could have been very difficult for you. And there could have been a lot of misunderstanding and things that you wish you could have said before they passed. For others of you, this could be about a situation, maybe romantically, that hasn't worked out right now. And you're not seeing the full spectrum of life and your path ahead of you. Many of us don't. We see the here and now. We see our present experience. That can be challenging. It can be painful. It can be damaging even. And we can't see beyond that. We don't see the entire web as it is woven for us. We just see the present moment, or the whole potential for catastrophe that, we might envision. I'm intrigued because we have to have faith in your dreams in the middle here. It feels like you are being held in a void that is filled with potential right now. They want you to know that you are protected, and you might not be seeing the full picture of everything that's going on, and that can quite often be for our own protection. When it comes to a manifestation, there can be 1,000 things that happen between 1,000 different people to get us from A to that B. And in between, there is just like a spaghetti junction of circumstance. Doesn't mean you're not getting to where you want to be. It just means that if somebody sat us down, our spirit guides or ancestors, and they tried to explain the exact process, you'd be like, what? Let the universe do its thing. Sometimes we just have to breathe, be in the present, and allow for what is playing out, because it's not for us to work it all out. Let's get some of these for you. This is the Viking Oracle deck. What does pile 3 need to know, please? Money, the moon, yep. Gibru, Yera, Egvisir. Now, I don't tend to read Gibru in the reverse. I'm going to take this as a dual meaning. And I'm doing that in the context of the reading and the messages coming through and the energy I'm already feeling and experiencing. There is definitely something that you are not seeing right now, and I genuinely feel like you're not seeing it for a reason. And I feel like that is probably for your own protection, but I feel like it's because things are moving in the background, and it would just be overwhelming to see all of it. There is, in your present moment, I feel like you're feeling guided towards something. And it is something good with Gibu here. Even though Gibu is in the reverse, I mean, I don't read Gibu in the reverse because it doesn't really have a reversal in its truest sense. I feel like there is things being woven here. There is magic afoot, things being woven, things coming to manifest to be your blessings. This is reciprocated energy. Just because you have given out energy, you might feel like you've been giving that out and it's not coming back to you. And this could be with friends, it could be with lovers, it could be with family members. But you're being guided by your heart, and you're being told to keep being guided by your heart. This dream could be that your family is settled and peaceful and calm with one another. It could be that you have the love of your life that treats you the way you wanted. It could be that you have an amazing group of friends that are supportive and just there with you on your journey every step of the way. There is a feeling here that perhaps you've been giving a lot out, and perhaps what you have yielded back has not been what you wanted, or you feel like you've been giving a lot out without having anything back in return. But this is a reminder that the good that you do and the good that you give out, the love that you share with other people is never wasted. You know, this is, I can see now I've been drawn to the peach moonstone. You just have to be yourself. Don't allow the world to change you. I feel like you give so much to other people, pile number 3, and you almost might be feeling like, when is it my turn? When is it my time? But there is a message here that, you know, you might be being protected from people that would just leech from you and drain you dry. But again, the love that you give is never in vain. It's not wasted. We've got Urus in the reverse. Yeah, you could feel like there's no point in holding on, or you've just been trying to be strong for so long, and now it's about being real with yourself. But you're not seeing the wholeness of what is going on the etheric realms and the energetic levels. The love that you've given out is always returned to us, sometimes in different forms. There's a sense here with money of time. For some of you, you could feel like time is running out, and you're being reminded that all dreams have their perfect time. But don't underestimate the good that you've been doing and the love that you've been sharing. You've got to keep being guided by the force that has been guiding you. You will know what that is, whether it's inner messages, dreams, visions, just a feeling, a sense of, I need to do this for this person, or I feel like I want to go here. I mean, obviously, again, we've got the message. I just keep seeing the empty cup. So for some of you, perhaps you have just been giving of yourself to the point at which you're empty and drained. And that could be, you know, in different ways. On the journey of motherhood, it can feel very much like that sometimes. But with Yera and Gibu here, and Uru's in reverse, no, we can't do it all. But don't doubt the good that you are doing to help others. And for others, the love and the magic you've shared with others will never have been for nothing. We do have to have boundaries and not give to the ends of ourselves, but I'm just getting that there was good reason. There was good reason for what has happened, even if you don't see it right now. It's very, very interesting. I'm going to get a little bit more clarity on this for you. Pile 3, please. Yeah. You could have been trying really, really hard to make something work. You could still be really trying hard. And you do this from a place of really deep love. And you do it because you're loving with a pure and true heart. You are loving and you do have love to give. Or I'm actually getting this might be somebody else's energy. And it's like you know that they're loving, but they've been withholding their love a little. With the Two of Swords, there is definitely things waiting in the wings. You know, when I do a reading, I'm tuning into the energy of the collective, and I will tune into specific energies that wish to be shared. But also, I know that sometimes things are not revealed because the revealing of them would almost take away from the journey or the experience itself. And this is where we don't meddle. We have to read, but we don't meddle. And you get to read what comes through. You will never, ever get the fullness of everything. Sometimes it's life's twists and turns that end up being the most delicious part of a story, especially when it comes to meeting people. Trying to gauge this for you. In the present moment, you could feel very stuck between worlds, between decisions, between knowing what it is that you want to do and how you want to move forwards. Something could have not worked out, and actually you're feeling more reserved about where you share yourself or how you share your love right now. And that's okay. You're being told to perhaps go on holiday or take some time, return that love to you. You need it. Refill your own cup. And there could have been attachments or addictions. These could have been other people's or your own that have been at play here. This flew out over Urus in reverse. So this is almost telling me it's like letting go of those now. You know, it's like the release of those. The Page of Wands. Yeah. You might not feel like you have it in you right now to embark upon a new journey. And for some of you, it isn't a new journey outwardly, but it's the rediscovery of your own self, because it feels almost like there could have been a loss of identity. And I am strongly getting, you know, in some ways, this can be through motherhood or through family dynamics. I should say parenthood, apologies, through parenthood and family dynamics, because parenthood affects both parents. You could have felt just for a very long time you've just been trying to make something work, and you've been doing this on your own. And you're not seeing how everything is playing out right now. Okay, we're going to move into the second part of the reading. And what I'm going to do is to get the energies of you and the other person on your mind, or the relationship on your mind. And I'm going to use the Dreams of Gaia Tarot for that. And then we're going to get the advice and messages that can help you moving forwards. Nearly did it again. I did that to pile number 2. I nearly put all my cards away. It's because I'm on autopilot. Okay, so let's get your energy and their energy. And this energy is really, really gentle. It's almost a little bit withdrawn. And I don't know if that's how you're feeling right now. It's just a bit heavy-hearted and a little bit withdrawn. And that, the visual that I was getting with this goddess moonstone, this peach moonstone, I called it goddess moonstone, is to really evoke that inner goddess energy, regardless of gender. What brings you a sense of pleasure, fulfillment? What makes you feel blissful and excited, but relaxed at the same time? You know, it's almost like going to that space within, finding what triggers that emotion and enjoying that for a little bit. Just enjoying being in that energy for a little bit. Okay, your energy, their energy, and the connecting energy. So this is the person or relationship on your mind. This is you and the connecting energy on the bottom of the deck. Your energy, please. I'm going to have to pick that up off the floor. Bear with me a second. Okay, we've got heaven and earth in the reverse and the counselor in the reverse. So one more that wants to come through for you. No. The energy. I'll take those for you. On the bottom of the deck. Queen of Water. Okay. Interesting. So immediately we had the heaven and the earth and the counselor come out. Now, the message that I got with this is that you can't be all things to all people. You know, it really feels like you have been giving and giving and giving. But it's almost like there was a sort of similar energy in pile 1. You know, you can't fix somebody's problems for them. They have to have the willingness to do certain things for themselves, to heal or to evolve in some ways for themselves. And then we had these, yes. So that's the 8 of Swords, which here involves a sacrifice. It's the balance of that sacrifice. The Scribe, the Queen of Fire. Oh, I love this. So we've got some clues in here. And this is kind of similar to pile 1 in some ways. Perhaps different situations, but a similar way to move through it. So there could be messages for you in both. And perhaps even, because of the energy that's coming through, similarities in what it is that you can do to help yourself and these relationships. Even though it might be different relationships in your life and you acting differently in those different relationships, if that makes sense. You can't go to the point of self-sacrifice in order to fix things and make everything okay for other people, because your needs and thoughts matter too. I'm actually feeling like at the same time, perhaps something has pulled away, some energy has been pulled away from your life, whether you wanted that to happen, whether it's or not, whether it's happened and you were, upset about that, shocked about that. There is a sense here of something being returned to you. And because of the Queen of Wands coming out with it, it feels exciting. I feel like you're going to enjoy this. There is an opportunity to almost reconnect with yourself, or a part of yourself that you might have felt like you'd been missing for some time. Now, again, if you've been, dealing with a long-term situation, you could have been caring for relatives or family members, or just very much engaged in a situation that has been depleting for you. And it's not that you've done it reluctantly, it's that it's been what has been required of you. But there is this sense that you have perhaps found yourself in a bit of a void, in a bit of a transitional phase where you don't quite know where you're going forwards yet, but something is resurfacing within you. And this transition, it's reawakening something within you that you're going to feel really excited about. But yeah, I almost feel like something might have had to have been pulled away from your life or changed in order to prevent this self-sacrifice. Definitely wisdom. So their energy, body and mind, the chrome. Yeah, we've got some similar cards out here again to pile number 1, but different. The 7 of Swords, the 7 of Fire, and the 10 of Earth in reverse. It's really interesting. In some ways, this person could seem really wise or just very experienced with certain things in life. It might be, if they're younger, they might be wise beyond their years in some respects, old beyond their years in some respects. But there is this sense that this person has, for some of you, this person knows exactly what they're doing. if you've been feeling drained and you've just been giving, and this person hasn't been reciprocating, I'm sorry, that might be a hard message for some of you. But for some of you, it does feel like this person does know what they're doing. And there could be an element of knowing how to get what they want from you. So there could have been an energetic intervention that stepped in to sort of protect you. But I also feel like this person hasn't fully grounded into or embodied their truest self yet with this 10 of Earth in the reverse. I think they know a lot would be the word, could be the phrase that's coming through. You got 2 sevens. I don't know, I'm just getting the message maybe somebody was a gambler. I think this person gives off a persona of being very, very confident, or sometimes they might feel that they are, you might feel that they need more, but they are capable themselves. This is quite interesting energy. But there is this feeling here, because the connecting energy is the Queen of Water, and that speaks to me very much of deep, deep empathy. So you could empathetically very much feel this person's energy. And they might be very aware of how that triggers you and how to get what you want, how to get what they want. But what I'm feeling is that this sense of empathy needs to be reflected back to you. This love needs to be returned back to you. You need to remember your own inner goddess, your own inner god force. Come back to those practices of nurturing yourself, especially if this person has almost been willingly depleting you or giving you more than, I mean, this could be a boss that's just fully aware that it's like they're not carrying their own weight. And on a level, I don't know whether they are consciously aware of this or this is just a level, you know, it very much not consciously aware of this, but they are more capable, or they know that you're carrying the weight of this. And it comes from a place of very high empathy and love. But this person hasn't fully grounded into their most authentic self yet. So take that in whatever way this person is connected to you, if that resonates. But I think what I'm getting here, the overall message, is that you are very deeply emotionally or energetically connected to this person or this situation. You will just give and give and give, lovingly, willingly, with a very open heart. And this person might be very welcome to take, or very willing to take, I should say. And it's not to say they never give everything back. It's not to say that you don't receive anything back. But it does feel like you're depleted. And one of the key messages here is something is going to be returned back to you. We had Yera and Gibu in the message at the very beginning with the Viking Oracle cards of, don't think that what you've given out to others won't be returned back to you, because it does. It doesn't necessarily come back in the same form. So if this is a relationship, a boss, whatever it is, and you've invested, been depleted and received nothing back, it might not be that it comes back from them, but something is going to be returned to you here. And it's going to be beautiful. And it really does reignite your passion for life and your own dreams and your own wants, what it is you want to do, because this is about having faith in your dreams. But there could have been some sort of stepping in, some sort of energetic intervention here as a form of protection for you from this person or this situation, to prevent you from being depleted. I'm going to use some of these and we will get how you can best move through this situation. How we can best, because the focus of this reading was to be, how can we fix this relationship, really. But sometimes fixing a relationship is about fixing or working on self, and someone else having to do their part of the work as well. Because we are not a whole relationship. We're part of it. Okay, moving forwards. It's the best advice we can offer moving forwards. The Eight of Wands. Okay. Seven of Swords. The Tower. Death. Let's get a little bit more. Lovers and the Age of Pentacles. There's a lot of cards here. I will go through them. Okay. So we've got the Eight of Wands in the reverse. There could be an unwillingness to walk away from something. And that can come from a deep place of empathy. When we are deeply connected to somebody, or we feel someone else's emotions, we almost feel responsible. But this feels like making a decision. It feels like making a decision in order to trigger this transformation. You know, this death card, I like to think that the death card doesn't always speak of literal death at all. I've never ever had that once in a reading. But these butterflies, you know, that's transformation. Sometimes a way of life or a way of identification comes to an end. It can be a tower moment. It can be a change. But it triggers something new. It triggers a new experience, new opportunities, a rebirth. And on here, we have the Lovers. And look what's around them. The same little white butterflies. This is that rebirth. This is the end of one way, of one experience that brings about a new connection. This doesn't have to be, you know, a romantic partnership. It could be a new career, because the boss dynamic kept coming through. It could be a new career, a new business partner. But with the Eight of Pentacles, you know, this is something that's worth investing into for the long term. This is something that's worth your effort and your work that you know, will lovingly naturally put in. We've got the Five of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, the Hangman, the Page of Wands, the Chariot, the Page of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands. I actually feel like this speaks about two different energies potentially. There could be some sort of conflict or some sort of just a change. And again, tower moments, we will go through multiple tower moments in our lives. These can be inner towers, outer towers, and they are always, it's sort of bringing things back to a level that we can rebuild stronger from. So it's not to be scared of them, although it can be a process. It can be, you know, really intense sometimes, but it shouldn't, I don't want it to just be intimidating. And I feel like for many of you, if you're already identifying with this energy through this reading, it almost feels like this has already happened. So I wouldn't say anticipate a big fight, because it feels almost like you're in this Four of Pentacles energy now, where you're not quite sure where to go from here, not quite sure what's next, where to move on. Yeah, we've got the Six of Swords on the bottom of the deck, so very much weighing up, making that decision about where you go to next. Now, we've got the Knight of Cups, the Hangman, and the Page of Wands. I think somebody could have a change of heart and try to come forwards with you with a new offer. But I'm also sensing that you could have multiple different offers coming in. And your message here with this Nine of Wands is almost to take a bit of time for you. You know, with these knights and these pages, you could suddenly, I'm getting that if somebody finds out that you're available, and this could be for work or romantic or whichever, all of a sudden it feels like if you're available, they're like, oh my gosh, this person, you could have messages coming thick and fast, like, oh, we can do this, we can do that, do you want to do this? And that might be a little bit overwhelming. If you need to, take that time, take the time you need to recover. But you are going to find a very successful pathway through this. I definitely feel like somebody might have a bit of a change of heart, but You know, it's up to you whether or not you decide to trust that. But I do feel multiple different energies here. And this reawakening, this energy that's returning after the tower moment, you know, take the time. You will choose what it's worth walking away from and what it's worth investing time into. Sometimes we go through these repeating cycles of not wanting to move away, and then there's some sort of cataclysm and something changes or something triggers, and then we are almost in the reactive state, and then it's okay, no, we can repair this, we can make this work, or we can try it this way this time. If it's work, we can do it a different way, I can resolve this, and then cycle repeats. And it's not to say that you're doing wrong, it's always your decision, and it's always within your the realms of your comfort and present moment capabilities and the decisions you make. That's okay. Life will just offer us different perspectives sometimes in order to see something in its truest form, so that we can make our highest and greatest decisions moving forwards in the long term. But I'm definitely feeling lots of different people suddenly being interested, and you might just need to recover for a little while. And it's okay, because don't feel like you've got to, again, from this space of deep empathy, feel like you have to meet everybody else's needs. This is about you meeting your own needs now and really taking that time for you. Let's get one of these for you as a healing message. Okay, you've got a couple. Harmonic resolution, utopia, and higher perspective. Absolutely. I feel like there is a way of finding peace with this situation, and actually what you're moving forwards to is something so much better, but not just better for you, mutually beneficial, because sometimes through our greatest love and wanting to help and serve other people, we actually prevent them from doing some of their own work. And I don't want to say we're stopping people from doing their own work. It's always a co-creative process. But I feel like this is saying there is a higher outcome for all beyond any conflict or difficult situations. You know, this is the card of harmonic resolution and transmutation of anger and negativity. So do know that this was not for no reason, and that there is good on the other side of it. And let's get one of these for you. 2. Knight, be brave and be honest, be devoted and be committed with the Sage. And I think this is very much about you being brave and honest about yourself, your own needs, how you're really feeling within this situation, and then being devoted and committed to yourself, and not letting people take advantage or walk all over you in whatever way, in whatever aspect of life. But that can be done in a loving way, because it feels like you're a loving and gentle energy. And I feel like the thought of confrontation would probably be very, very off-putting for you. And this is just a reminder that you can be yourself. You can be who you are and still be deeply loving, but have that deep commitment to self to be able to put those boundaries in and defend yourself when needed by walking away in your own ways. You know, defend yourself in your own ways, whatever feels right to you. But there is good coming. There is definitely the way through this for you is really about being honest with yourself, the situation, and finding the way through that brings you inner peace and that allows you to restore your own energy, your vital life force, because that is so important. So pile number 3, I'm going to leave this here. I hope this reading resonated with some of you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. As a reminder, personal readings are available, but I just wanted to send you all my love. Thank you for being here, and I will see you again in another reading. Take care. Bye-bye.